All right. Despite all the attempts to make a video for you earlier, all the audio always went bad. But I'm confident that the audio is working now, and I give you some decent feedback. All right. I kind of wait at the end for this kind of feedback so that we accomplish the goals of the course, which is your physical portfolio, the online portfolio, your brand. And I'm really glad to see that you've done that. The obvious thing here, we've already talked about that. You're already addressing navigation, etc. So good job. It's nice that these things are here, but they're not critical. I'd say the portfolio is far more critical. So let's go to the portfolio. Okay, I'll try it this way. All right, we're getting there. All right, I'm happy to see you starting with one of your strongest pieces, the app. And it's not because I taught the class, it's because um, you did a very thorough and complete job. This looks great. The only thing that you could do better is have a functioning mock-up linked right here, or a video of that mock-up, or a GIF of that mock-up, etc. Kind of further proof that have you're really good at this. Um, and then also, the the research booklet provided you so much material that you could blend that into the app page and expand it. So you could, you know, express the interest in the target market, show a picture of the target market, show the flow chart. By doing this, you're introducing your understanding of research, you're introducing your understanding of information architecture, you're showing the prototypes here, and then test results, you're talking about your ability to understand usability studies. So those are some really key things that if this is a field you're really interested in, then I'd encourage you to show. And what you have right now is fabulous. I would just make this page a little taller and include some of those things, um, particularly the functioning, a link to the functioning app, or a video of the app or something like that. Very smart of you to include next project link. Thank you. The cropping of this is pretty strange. If this is the logo, I can't really see it right now. Maybe it's my screen. I don't know. Maybe it's the size of this, but it is kind of weird. So I'd take a step back and reduce that, and give it more white space so I can see the logo. I don't mind the cropping, but when you first introduce this, for some people they're not going to understand that at all. Uh, the menu looks good, although it looks kind of incomplete with, you know, incomplete names for the food items. I would probably reduce the size of menu. It doesn't need to be that big. And of course, you could improve it by adding photos of the various pieces. But of course, maybe you don't have that resource. That's really nice too. Okay, going on with billboards. Now, I would I would separate these into two billboards. I don't really think, because one is McDonald's and one is Feeding America. And putting them side by side is just like, huh? What's going on here? Now, I know what's going on. It was a class assignment, but the way it's presented is kind of like weird. So I think it would be far more effective. You want fries with that? I would probably just say, I would drop this and say, you want fries with that, and then maybe a smiley face. So it's like, yeah, I know you do. Um, and then make that a whole series. 3 different billboards all about fries with that. And then you could do another if you wanted to on feeding America and the story of hunger, and then that would make this a lot more like a legit piece. It's not that it's bad right now. It's not. It's just weird. Okay, I know Kellogg's Red and El Ego Red are different reds, but it really bugs me that they're side by side, and it just looks like an error more than a mistake. But hey, well, I can't. I don't know if I can have to live with it. Fabulous that you got the working GIF in there. Good job, and fabulous that you have the storyboard. You don't really explain very much with this. I mean, there's a title, and it's not. It's more of a description, class assignment, and I encourage you not to emphasize class assignments, because every job we look at almost says seeking a designer with 2 to 3 years of experience. So you don't want to say, here's my portfolio class assignments. You want to say, you want to reflect, even if they are class assignments, you want to hint that potentially it could be an example of actual work, thus implying that you do have 2 to 3 years of experience when you don't, even if you don't. So that's my opinion on it, but hey, it's your portfolio. Okay, Great Lakes Bay Magazine. Yeah, I do like the lettering, but they're right. Orange on orange, kind of hard to read. These layouts are good. It is kind of strange that it's a conscious choice that you made, not to include capitals, like for the W of wedding and M for making. I would probably put capital, but so that's kind of a unique aspect. And because you did so much here, I would probably include more. There is no harm in having one project longer or taller on a page than another. And certainly if you include more in your web portfolio, doesn't mean you have to cram all that in the print portfolio. And you've got the stuff, it's already made, so get credit for all the work that was done. Again, I'm finding all of your text and content really, you're written, the stuff I asked for, title, concept, description, discipline, really on the weak side. These dashes just don't feel right. So I'd probably move this down. Okay, maybe under here, maybe just put it down to the bottom, and I don't know, or get rid of the dashes. Yeah. I like the flow. I like the shapes. I like the colors. If there's one thing I could switch around, it would be the focal point. Right now, the focal point for this spread is on the far right. I would move it to the far left. And the reason I would do it that way is because we read left to right, top to bottom. So this would be black text on white, and you'd start here, and then you'd go to this, and then this one. Oh, I guess we'd have to reverse that. I don't know how to do it then. Or maybe this fill in with tan. I don't know. Right now, the focus is right there, and I want it over here. But either way, it's still a good spread. So, this is line length errors. Those are too long. You really should split this into 2 columns. It's already split into 2 columns here, so I know you got that ability. Beautiful colors, good theme, good shapes. And you probably should have more on that because there's so much more to the book. As we talked about earlier, I don't think you should give up on this project. I think you should just try to approach it again to harmonize the colors, or you could just tweak it in Photoshop. You know, you could use the blending modes, throw the color you want over the photo, make a mask. I think you could correct it that way instead of having to retake. Oh, well, you could even sharpen it. I know that's one of the things that bothers you. So you could even sharpen it that way. So I think it's a savable project and worth saving. The downtown Phoenix, yeah, we've talked before about how this is the background is the prominent element, and this is just like almost secondary to all this cool background. Um, Usually mock-ups are the reverse, where the thing that you're trying to display that you created, designed, is prominent, and they put it in a prominent location. But I don't know, to make it more we might have to crop it. Just do we really need all this? And of course, that depends on the resolution. Can we crop it and still have decent resolution on the text? And of course, I would include more. And I'd look at this mock-up and say, I can keep the hands. Can I just switch out the background for something else? I don't know, probably. Okay, I really like what you did with the lettering. I see how it relates to Stephen Heller based on his work. Um, Again, it's kind of a frustrating piece for me because in the end, anyone who went to art school instantly knows that it's a class assignment. Um, I really like it in your portfolio because it is a well done class assignment. But also, deep down, I'm still kind of frustrated because it still can be interpreted as class assignment. So in time, I would probably replace this one for that reason, or I would reprocess it to something else because the style is so cool. Particularly this fun lettering, and I'd apply that to here too. This one feels out of it compared to the other ones. There's no oranges, or excuse me, there's no yellows, there's no greens, there's no blues. So it feels limited in that. We don't need the white line around the SVSU thing anymore. As far as type goes, the margins are too tight here. They're too tight at the top. Um, Type seems a little large. And, if I was going to read about the guy who's coming and get the backstory, I'd probably want a photo of him, too. So I'd probably consider that. Okay, your mental health. Um, there they are. I was like, where is that? I think these are really good, very clever, and they're an important topic, and they tap well into the issues that are on mental health awareness. So I wish this one went all the way across. Um, I think you did a great job on these, and they're important. So I got nothing to complain about there, other than the text is kind of lacking in your explanation. Okay, I hope you found that critique helpful. I don't expect you to make any of the updates before the end of the term, other than those that you want to, and you don't even have to agree with me on all of the updates. Um, the purpose of the critique, the student portfolio review, was to show you how subjective portfolios are. Um, I do have an opinion, and I try my best to explain why. And but in the end, it's up to you to make those choices. All right. See you later.